Ben, what's the Aztec Safety online e-learning website again?
Yeah, that would be aztecsafety.com.
Fire extinguisher and firefighting, we'll send that one to Paul.
Ah, now here's a course I should probably take. Conflict resolution.
Power line safety. Yeah, I thought it might help me with my line calls. Did you know this Aztec website has over 100 safety courses?
Jeez. Aztec Safety online course. Ground disturbance. Could have used that a few seconds ago.
The 2025-2026 Grand Slam of Curling schedule is out, with big events happening all over Canada, like the Masters heading to London in September, the Tour Challenge from Nisku this October, the Canadian Open from Saskatoon in December, and the Players' Championship from Steinbach coming in January. Early bird weekend and full event passes on sale now at gsoctickets.com. Let's walk.
Live curling rocks. And this November, the best in the world are coming to Tahoe. Get your seats now at gsoctickets.com. But hurry, early bird pricing ends soon.
Good afternoon, everyone. Hope everyone can hear us now. I think you can see us. We're having some technical issues. We thank you for bearing with us. You're watching the Prestige Hotels and Resorts Curling Classic from Vernon. My name's Sean Joyce. We had a few technical issues off the start, so we actually had the wrong game on the screen. But for those of you who were watching for the Wouter Gosgens Cody Tanaka game, we did get to see the last couple of shots there in that first end. A lot of rocks in play, and it looks like we're shaping up to have some rocks in play here again in the second. Tanaka with last rock throwing the blue stones here in the second end. The Gosgens team from the Netherlands, the Tanaka team, Kamloops, British Columbia, so close by. The second for Gosgens is Jaap van Dorp. Tobias Vandenkirk is the lead. The third with the brush down is Lorenz Hoekman. Wouter Gösgens, the skip. That one just does not come up for them. Taps the blue guard actually into the rings now. I think the yellow at the back of the 8-foot is still second shot, but Tanaka sits one for now with last rock, and his second man, Mitchell Kopitko, in the hacks. Worried about the angle on the double by the looks of it. Jared Kolemaya, the third, taking a look at the angles as well. So worried about the angle on the double. And it looks like what they're talking about is to play a split off that blue stone. Kolemaya perhaps still worried that there is a way to get to shot stone. There's about half of it exposed now. This is the first time I've had a look at this particular venue this weekend. Only 4 draws in, I believe. And that last shot, at least, it doesn't look like there's big movement there. They didn't get off the outside guard. I think the call they settled on was Cody's first thought, play the split on the blue in the 8-foot. They're trying to push it back and roll the shooter into a better position so that there's no double available. Probably would be sitting, if this is made perfectly, probably still only going to be sitting 2. I can't see getting both rocks in far enough to sit 3. Line's close. Needs to finish a little bit. It's close. It's real close. Don't know if he's going to get enough of a roll. Tap comes fairly close to straight back. Enough, I guess, by the looks of it. Gosgens doesn't think he can make the double, so they're just going to play the hit and roll towards shot rock. Can probably get shot of their own, but then that blue stone that was just delivered will be available for a run back. Wants to get to the inside of this. It's going to stay just a little bit on the high side. Makes the hit, rolls to the edge of the 12. There's a good look at it from the overhead. You can see Tanaka sitting 1. He's got third shot at the top of the 8-foot. That's a dangerous position. Doesn't need to move that rock just yet. He's going to look to come around, sit on top of his own shot rock right now. Gosgens had a decent setup going in the first end until Tanaka, with his very final stone, made a cross house double. And Wouter had to draw for 1. Now here, as we play in the second, it's been all the Tanaka team so far with the pressure, and they do have last rock as well. Wants to get this right to the face of his own and would love to line it up to the yellows at the back so it becomes tough for Gosgens to ever make a play on it. Oh, that's in a really good spot. Even if Gosgens could hit it, it's a little risky. Time to do some damage control. Looking for the run back on the yellow. He's got a couple of options. They talked about running it straight back onto the blues. You lose your rock at the back of the 8-foot, but they should both go when you're hitting it from this side. And if it happens to hang or float back on them a bit, you catch the second yellow guard. It probably goes into that blue stone at the top of the 8-foot. Boy, you can't afford to overcurl it, though. Did he make contact with the ones in the rings? He does. Does lose the 2 at the back, but actually squirted the, I guess it would have been the top of the 2 blue stones, still in behind staggered guards. And the yellow stone that was raised back is available for the hit and roll. You could sit 3 off this. Cody's just looking at what's the best roll to not leave a double back. And I think what he settled on is the nose hit. You roll to the outside, you'll actually leave them a better angle. And I'm not sure you can roll covered to the inside. No, I think you'd go into your own blue stone. Nose hit would leave a double, but you'd be awfully thin on the first stone. Well, he's going to get the roll to the inside. He actually did get across the top of his own. That's a great roll. Now, there might be a slash triple there, but you're losing the shooter for sure. Wouter looking at the double run on the yellows, which you could stick perfectly. Even if you stick it perfectly, though, you've got to drive the first one across the top of the second one, so you're going to get rid of everything on the center line. Looking for a little more curl here. One across the top of the second one. Just sliced it a little thin. Will make contact with the blues and the rings and loses one of them, but his Raystone leaves the rings as well. Tanaka still sitting 2. No guards left. They might be. Yeah, I almost think they're overthinking this one. They're worried about trying to find a way to not leave any doubles, but if you come in and tap your own, you do run the risk of grouping them well enough that you might leave a triple. You just draw open side, spread the rocks out, make it a tough double. If he makes it, you're still in good shape to get 2. $15 teams here at Vernon this weekend, playing in 3 pools of 5, looking for one of 6 berths into the playoffs. Nice draw there. They do sit 3, and that double is flat. There's not a lot of room between them. Might have liked to get that another foot out there, but you don't ever want to over curl, and really in the second end they had to stay on ice they knew. First game of the event here for Gosgens. Tanaka did have a game earlier. They won that one, so off to a good start. Trying to keep it going here. Gosgens had his own chance for a deuce in the first end that saw it taken away by a double. He's going to need to make a couple of them here if he's going to stop Tanaka from scoring 2 this end. Here's the first attempt. Brush her down right away. Going to be thick on the first one. Does he have enough weight to get the second one all the way out? He does. Great shot. That's 1. Tanaka already knows. You leave him the easy double on the second one, he's going to make it again, and you'll be forced, that yellow biter on the outside. So, again, the discussion is all about where do we roll to make this double tough, and I think what they talked about, just from what I could see of the brush gestures, they want to roll about a foot, come just across the face and roll a foot closer to the other rock. Should be a thin angle at that distance. Makes the hit. He's going to roll a little farther than they had in mind. Well, that does make it interesting for Gosgens. He's got the choice. You could play the double, and it's just off the nose. It's not a tough double by any means, except for the distance between them. And I think they talked briefly about hitting the back one and just rolling behind the other blue, which you could do that as well. You'd be shot rock, and you'd force Tanaka to try a run back of his own stone against the possibility of a steal. But you make this double, you've got the force. Wouter Gosgens with his final stone here at the second end without last rock, looking for the double. Got forced himself by an outstanding double in the first. A chance to return the favor here. This has got a curl. Can he get it across the face? No, it's going to slide by. So Cody Tanaka will have a chance to draw. Just needs a little bit better than full 12 foot. He can pick up a deuce here in the second end and take the lead. Pressure's down, but really not much more than cleaning yet. Picking up a little bit more now. Just needs full 12. Cody Tanaka will put that stone right on the button. He'll pick up his 2 points here in the second end and take a 2-1 lead into the third. Wouter Gosgens will have last rock when we come back.
That's life. That's what all the people say.
Hey guys, what can I get started for you today?
Bananas away, regular?
And I'll have the rip berry, but can I get vanilla oat milk and I'll add spinach and ginger? And can I substitute the raspberries for strawberries? Also add the chia and hemp seed, and definitely have the power booster and the collagen booster. And can I get that blended twice?
Wow.
For Alicia, custom chaos? One of a kind.
You're one of a kind.
Booster juice, freshly made, your way.
Third end just underway here from the Prestige Hotel and Resorts Curling Classic in Vernon. Cody Tanaka with a 2-1 lead over Wouter Gosgens. Gosgens will have last rock here in the third. Play has come into the rings already. You see the center guard that was thrown up at the first, the second stone brought into the corner. I think The call was for the corner guard. I didn't see the call, but it did slip into the rings. So Tanaka able to play the hit and a perfect roll in behind their center guard. So already here in this third end, some early pressure on the Gosgens team. They need a good freeze here. Tobias Vandenherk looking to make the come around corner freeze on that blue stone top of the forefoot. Plan B now, they don't want to split off it. They're trying to come around it. Still needs to curl for that. Comes to rest, back of the 8-foot at his second shot. Jared Kolomaya again coming down to check the angles. He is the third on the team. It's worth noting he's not the vice. Mitchell Kopitko, who throws the second stones, is actually in the house for Cody when he throws. So they must feel Jared's the better sweeper. That's usually when you see a third man sweeping for the skip. It's because they like the sweeping combination, and certainly it looks like Jared's very involved in the strategy for this team. Looking to come down, sit right on the face of their own stone. Boy, that is a really good shot. There's also the chance it's a little bit of a stagger on them. And with this run back, depending on which side you hit the blue on, if you hit it on the left side as we look at it on this screen, there is a chance that when you clip the first blue, the second blue drags and it may clip the yellow at the back. If you hit it on the right side as we were looking at it, you won't get the top one out. Well, pretty much on the nose. Kills just the one blue. Now, it does mean the yellow at the back of the 8-foot is now second shot. And again, Jared Kolomaya wants to take a look at these angles. You can see the dilemma they're having. You know, it's when he's talking about, when he's gesturing that off the blue, it's not that they really want to hit their own, but they're worried about leaving that possibility. It's a short hit and roll. And it looks like what they're going to try to do is split off their own so they can get the shooter underneath the guards and then push the other one back so the hit and roll, even if it's made, would be deep in the rings. Boy, that is moving hard early. With that amount of rotation, they might be splitting the top one now. I don't think that's what they had in mind, but it's not a bad result. You sit 3. The only real makeable double is the 2 blues close together. Even if you make it, you're going to have to stay in the open, and there is a risk you jam it on that back yellow depending on how you hit the middle of the 2 blues. You could just look to hit and roll behind the guard. Scary part of that, if you're Gosgens, is you just hate to leave your opposition sitting 3. So he's going to play the hit and roll behind, but he's going to play it on the 1 stone on the right side of the sheet by itself. That double will still be available later. On this brush hard, you need to get by. Boy, it's not going to, and it might have taken away the double. It's certainly taken away most of the red well, it's either shot or second. I think it's shot rock. You could get the double off the other one. Tanaka's running out of places to put rocks, so with that yellow at the back, the 8 foot being open, you hit this, you can still sit 4, and then it takes care of that 1 stone you might be worried about cutting your end down. Don't think they wanted to roll out, though. Maybe didn't want to stay right there, but wanted to keep the shooter somewhere. Thought Gosgens might take a run at the double here, but he's going to look to hit again the open one and try to roll behind the situation on the other side. Lawrence Hoekman, quiet wait here is to try to control this shooter for the roll. He's got the hit. He's got a roll. Manages to get underneath the blue stone, and boy, that's a really nice shot. He might have shot rock. It would be close for shot. I'd have to see the overhead. Now, there is a short angle run for Tanaka. It's going to be hard to stick the blue where another hit and roll won't be possible, though. Kolamaya with the attempt to brush down right away again. Blue onto yellow. And does either of the blues stick around? The back one does stick around for a bite of the back 12. Tanaka sits 2, shot rock buried, biting the corner of the 4-foot. Gosgens' first thought is to try to draw around and right around the blue stone in the 4-foot as well. Now, if you come up a little short, you saw him indicate the corner freeze is not bad here either. It would certainly eliminate that stone at the back. Sweeper's not even bent over a little hit. This has got to be a little bit deep. Will it stop in time for second at least? Boy, I'm not sure it did. No, I think blue's got second shot. So now where do you put the rock to sit 3? Mitchell Kopitka wants to split the rings, which I think is probably the right call. Cody Tanaka's still worried that they're going to play the come around again. But I don't know. Will they play that against 3? I guess he might. Gosgens does have last rock here. He as long as he knows he's going to have the button available. With that ice, I'm not 100% sure what they settled on. If they're coming around from that outside, it doesn't really get them much, and it probably leaves Wouter the chance to play the run back. He can get 2 and maybe all 3 of them, and now a big end is in play. This is hanging. Boy, you sure don't want to bounce off this. That would leave a triple for sure. Well, he left it. It still has to be made. And there is a chance that the bluestone coming back at the blue in the back 12, there's a chance it doesn't clear the yellow at the back 12. But boy, if you could make the triple and clear that, you could be sitting 2, and honestly, they'd both be buried. I had a chance to see this Gosgens team a couple of times last year myself, and I can tell you, Wouter is very good at these upweight shots. This one's always a little tricky when you get into the hacks because that guard is in your eye. If you ever worry about the guard and you set it back just a little bit, you'll hit the first one too thick. You probably won't get the second one out of the rings. He's got to flirt with that guard a little bit on the way by to have the perfect angle to get the double, spin up in behind, and possibly catch that third one at the back as well. Sweep call has been off and on. That's usually a good sign. He's going to come fairly tight by the guard. Gets the one, comes across, gets the second, catches the third. He was just a little thick on that first one. Didn't come across with enough weight. Does push it out in the open, and his shooter stays partially buried to sit second shot. Tanaka can see enough of that rock to make a play on it. It's not without risk. See, Pit could go over and take a look at just how thin would we have to hit this to really hurt ourselves. It's pretty thin to drive it onto the blue at the corner of the button, and it's pretty thick to drive it on the blue at the back of the 12. Somewhere in between those two is perfect. Hard to hold your shooter with this, but as long as you get it between the two blues, you've got the one in the corner of the button for shot, the one at the back of the 12 sits 2, and that's enough to force Gosgens to have to try to take a single. I don't think there's a way he could make the double without losing his own yellow at the back 12. Oh, he's got to get by the front one, though. This is not even close to getting by. Crashes the guard, so Gosgens will get a chance for 2. Just needs to make the hit, stay anywhere in the 12-foot. And he can retake the lead here. Inside brusher down all the way. Outside brusher just cleaning. They will get that right to the nose. Wouter Gosgens picks up 2 points right back here in the third end. The team's exchanging leads through the first 3. It's Gosgens with the 3-2 lead, and it'll be Tanaka with last rock in the fourth.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.
The rock faces around Lake Tahoe are legendary. But this fall, new ones will emerge in the Tahoe Basin. Pullman, Moet, Gushu, and more. November 4th through 9th, the Grand Slam of Curling's first ever event in the U.S. is coming to Lake Tahoe, where the greatest rock stars on earth unite for 6 days of incredible curling, celebrity appearances, and après curl parties you won't want to miss. Get your tickets at thegrandslamofcurling.com. Let's rock!
Moving right along here in this round-robin action. Prestige Hotels and Resorts Curling Classic in Vernon. My name's Sean Joyce. We've had 3 lead changes already in this game through 3 ends. Cody Tanaka with last rock as we begin here in the fourth. Gosgens brings their first stone into the top of the 4-foot. Here's the corner guard attempt. Got that first stone into the 4-foot, but it is off the center line, so if they're going to guard it now, they're not going to be in the no-tick zone. Plenty of movement on that stone from the hog line to the stop. Gets just an inch or two off the center line. So as close to the as close to the center line as they could and still protect most of their own stone in the rings. Cooper and Fadden being asked to come around and sit on the corner of that shot stone. Nice line coming in. He's got a good angle onto that Yellowstone. Did leave some distance between them. Gosgens asking Kapitko now to come down and freeze to the blue. Ideally, you want to get just a sliver to the inside of it so that any attempted run is going to go by the yellow shot stone. Looks to have plenty of room yet. This needs to curl a bit. Great weight and a good enough brush to stay or to get just ever so slightly across the face. Now they did tap it back to where it's hard to tell who's got shot rock. And that was the fifth stone of the end, so Tanaka has the option to make a play on the guard. I think they've decided they're going to make a play on it. The decision is, are they going to try to run it into the ones in the rings, or you saw Jared Kolomaya suggest we could just hit and roll to a corner guard. And I think that's what they've settled on. Boy, with this ice, either he's trying to hit and roll broomside to get a double corner on the same side, or they're throwing this really gentle. Maybe both. Yeah, definitely an in-out release there, sweeping for curl now. They were hoping to hang the shooter around somewhere. They're actually going to get a very thin rub, pushes the yellow to a corner guard, and the shooter goes through the back out of play. Gosgens opting to play the short run, the yellow onto the blue at the top of the forefoot. Hard to tell from that angle whether or not it's going to move the Yellowstone right beside it or not. I can't. They might be side by side there, or there might be an ever so slight overlap. We'll find out in a second here. 1, 2 does not touch the second one and actually rolls the raised stone to almost perfectly froze it on top of the yellow. That's outstanding result for the Gosgens team. You know, if he hits it that much on the other side, it probably moves the yellow in the forefoot for sure. Catches it just off center enough that when it comes off the blue, it spins onto the top of the yellow. You can certainly make all three yellows move here, but I don't know that you can get them all out. Probably get two. Wants to stay just a sliver high. This might jam. Does, so he only gets one out. Now he does at least break the lineup, and will the shooter hang on for a bite of the rings? Well, I'm not sure. That spun a little bit at the end, but from this camera angle, it certainly looks like it's out. It's close. For now, it's Gosgens sitting 2 in the 8-foot and looking to guard the rock on the center line. Don't think you could get a double off the other one. It looks to be just deep enough that in order to make the double, you'd have to hit the one they're trying to guard. Brushers haven't really touched it, but they're staying close. That's usually an indication they like the weight, just waiting on a line call. And they can't really go now. I'm afraid it's going to overcurl. It's got to stop right in front of the other stone. Oh, and that last little spin at the end, it probably left enough room to make a play at the double. Those are so tough as a sweeper because with the weight, you could tell both of them, they just kind of wanted to sweep, but you knew it was going to just keep walking and not just farther, but across the face as it was coming in, just over curled on them. Jared Kolomaya, big opportunity here to make the double, get out of a little bit of trouble here in this fourth end. This has got a curl. He's got air. Thought they might still look at the guard, and that's the guard I thought they'd look at. You really don't need to guard the yellow stone at the center line now. You need to guard against the double. So if you put a guard in what would be the hole that Jared Kolomaya just hit, he could probably maybe still hit the outside one on the nose, but he's not going to be able to roll in for shot, and he won't have the double. Now, granted, they'll probably try some kind of run. The problem with that draw is if you make it, you could leave a triple. But they want to put the extra pressure on, so they are going to play the draw. Got to get by not only the guard, but their own stone in the top of the 8-foot. This is going to be tight. The boy just rubs off it ever so slightly. I barely moved the stone that he touched. But, again, you can make all three of them move. Tanaka looking at the double off the wide out, the wide 8-foot one onto the one that was just thrown. That's tougher than it looks. I'm not sure you ever get completely underneath that one at the top of the 8-foot. I don't know if the triple's there either. You're probably dead jamming the first one, but that still might, with some weight and a little bit of action, you might spin it out in the open. This is where I wish I had a telestrator if Jerry was listening. If the problem with trying to hit the outside yellow and come across to get the double on the one in the 4-foot is if it's not where the yellow is. You got to look at where your red one is when you or blue one, pardon me, when you make contact. So you're going to be a rock's width higher than that. Draw a line from there to the yellow stone in the 4-foot. Well, it goes through the back end of that yellow stone at the top 8. So that shot's not really there. The triple. Well, again, you can move all three, but it looks like you might just dead jam the first one and leave it behind cover in the 4-foot. So they're going to opt to run the guard back, see if they can't, again, move all three in the rings. You might not get them all out, but they need some room to score right now. They've got last rock here. Boy, there was a bit of a set on that release. You really want to make something in the rings fly on this. Does catch the one in the corner of the 8-foot, but leaves it for a biter, the edge of the 12. So if you're Wouter Gosgens here, how much can you guard with one stone? You have to take away the double. You don't want to leave the hit and roll under either. That's a big ask for one stone. This is where you need one fatter stone than the other ones. And we saw earlier in this end as they were trying to throw a guard, it's very difficult to throw a guard on an existing stone when there's so much late finish. They have a tendency to just keep on going on you, and before you know it, you've curled 3 inches too far. Rogers do not want to touch this one. They're looking at plan B now. This is into the rings for sure, so trying to move something. They don't want to leave these too much of a cluster. Has to get the line, though. Well, Tanaka's first thought here is the nose hit. We've got the rock counter reversed. It's Tanaka has 2 stones left. Gosgens only has 1. You make the nose hit here. You're probably only killing 1 yellow. You're sitting third. There should be a double available. But it would be hard to get the blue out. You could also play, and I think what he's looking at now is you play the one at the top of the 8-foot on the center line. Hit and roll behind the yellow corner guard. You're probably killing 2 yellows that way. You could try to get all 3 yellows moving, and you might make them all leave the rings, but your shooter would stay open, and then that little biter on the outside edge will be the one that forces you here. I think he's looking at now still trying to make the triple, but it's thin hit on the one in the center line first. Come to the top of the other yellow, get that double, and then if you can make it that way, your shooter might spin across up and underneath the blue corner or even into the blue at the side. The danger with this, of course, you ever hit that first one too thick, you don't kill the second and third. You could make it the other way. You could hit the back one first, come into the side of the other one. You may not get all the 3 yellows out, but the middle will be open for your last one for a shot for 1. Definitely looking to move some yellows here, open up some room in the middle to try to score this end. Gets 1, moves 2, moves all 3, but the second and third ones stay fairly close. And boy, if Gosgens hits this right on the nose, I don't think Tanaka can nose hit anything back for shot. He'd have to play some kind of a hit and roll. Final stone for Wouter Gosgens here in the 4th end of play. He's already got a 1-point lead, a chance to hit and sit 4 without last rock. Boy, that's pretty good. Yeah, Tanaka's looking like, I'm not positive you get your shot rock if you hit it right on the nose. Now, if you roll anything to the inside, you're okay. I don't think there's any way he could hit this thin enough to not touch the other yellow. Needs a bit of a roll to the inside. I think if he rolls to the outside at all, it could be a steal of 2. Sweep coming from the offside now, trying to get that last little bit of curl. He will get just to the inside, makes the hit, rolls, nudges off the other Yellowstone, and Cody Tanaka will pick up his single point here in the 4th end of play, and we are all tied up at 3 apiece. Going into the 5th end, it'll be Wouter Gosgens with last rock here in Vernon.
For over 20 years, the Sandra Schmirler Foundation has granted more than $9 million to hospitals across Canada for life-saving equipment for premature and critically ill babies. In the past 4 years alone, $4 million has been granted thanks to the curling community's incredible generosity. The need continues year-round, and with your help, we can ensure every baby has the chance to grow up and become a champion, just like Sandra.
Welcome to therockshop.net, the official store for the Grand Slam of curling. Whether you're looking for the best hats, stylish clothing, fun toys, or unique accessories, the Rock Shop has it all. Shop online anytime at therockshop.net for exclusive Grand Slam of curling gear, or come see us in person at your next event. Therockshop.net, where fans find their favorite curling gear.
Live curling rocks. And this November, the best in the world are coming to Tahoe. Get your seats now at gsoctickets.com. But hurry, early bird pricing ends soon.
Four ends has decided nothing. We'll see if the last 4 can do any more, or if we're going to need one more after that. Three alls will begin play here in the 5th end. It will be Gosgens with last rock. And while we were in the break, the play in this 5th end did come into the rings. There's been some hits and a rollout with that last one. So wide open house, nothing in play. Tobias Vandenherk, pardon me, in the hacks with the final of the lead stones here in this 5th end. Nice opportunity here for the Gosgens team. If you could get a blank in 5, you've got that all-important hammer in the even ends. He is calling for the corner guard here. Still want to put a little bit of pressure on. I don't think they'll be disappointed that it came really tight. And for Tanaka, you don't really want to give up the chance for the blank here. So he's still got to play a little bit aggressively. You saw him with the indication where he wants to center guard, and he's looking to come just a little bit off center. You're doing two things here. You're trying to protect a bit of the forefoot, maybe even just a slight piece of the button, but also take away the draw path that Gosgens needs to get around his own corner guard. Nothing out of the brushes on this. They backed right away. Another one of those stones, we've talked about it already. They just keep curling at the end and crosses center, actually. He does protect the 4-foot area and half the button, but that hit or that draw behind the corner would still be there eventually. Gosgens now looking to play the hit off that center guard. This is the 6 stone in the end. They can play the guard off now and try to roll to the other corner. He would have double corner split. This is going to be awfully close to nose, though. Tanaka definitely wants to get one under the guard. You could see his first thought was to play the corner guard, try to roll. It's a tougher way to get there, but that corner guard's a dangerous stone for you. I do like this call better. I mean, it's given that it's the 5th end, you need to make sure there's a score here. You don't want to allow a blank. You play the corner guard off and you don't happen to get the perfect roll. You're leaving the blank alive. Certainly didn't wear out the brushes on this one either, and it will slide just to the tee line, partway out the other side of the guard. Yep, Van Dorp being asked to make the play around the intern side, pass that stone through the rings and roll to the open corner. He's really curling through it quiet. He's maybe trying to stay right there. No, they will get the roll to the corner. Like that call. You get that roll to the corner. Hard for the Tanaka team to get the roll back to be shot rocket. If they stay out there anywhere on the corner, then it becomes a choice for Gosgens. If we're really trying to score 2, you could just go around. If he wants to keep the blank alive, he can continue to exchange hits on this stone for a while. If you roll out, that makes the decision a lot easier. Gosgens asking for the come around from the wide side in this case. If they leave a piece open, it would force Tanaka to hit and roll open. Don't want to leave him the chance to roll behind the corner guard and possibly get forced that way. Had to wait a long time for this to start to curl, and at the end they're thinking about sweeping for curl. At the same time, it's going to be deep. Actually does get buried, but it's just hanging onto the back of the 8-foot, and it's a chance for the Tanaka team to draw down, sit in front of it, and that would take the blank off the table. It's got a lot of room by the guard yet. We saw in the last attempt, there's not as much movement on this side of the sheet. This might be a little bit warm as well. It's going to slide right by everything and all the way out the back. Well, that was a big missed opportunity because not only did they have a chance there to get the force, it gives up the chance for Gosgens. If they can get one to the top of the 4-foot here, they can't really get to the freeze at the back again. And not just 2, but 3 is in play here. A little heavy on the first attempt. The brusher jumped this one right away. Gonna have to hold the line, gonna have to drag it. By the front one, finishing up nicely. Oh, great job by the brushers. They bring that all the way into the top of the 8-foot, and even with that straighter side on the in-turn, they get a sliver out the other side. Tanaka again looking at coming down to that stone at the back of the, just biting the back of the 8-foot. If he's right to the face of it, he might be shot rock if he's right to the face of it. I don't think so. No, if he's right to the back one, that one that was just delivered and is buried would still be shot. You don't have to be right to it, but then your line better be really good. Line definitely better on this one. He's got to get by not just the stone in the top of the guard, but he's got to get by the stone at the top of the 8-foot. This is going to crash. And still left the shot stone buried. Gosgens sitting 2 with last rock and about to throw his first. Where do you put it? You want to sit 3, and you don't want to leave something that Tanaka could play off of to cut your end down. I'm not sure I love this call. They're looking to come around with the out turn, get to the top of the button, sit shot rock. The problem with it is Tanaka, if you're all the way in for shot, Tanaka follows it down, sits right on the face of it, you're going to have a hard time scoring more than 1. I don't really see much of any opportunity for Cody Tanaka to play any kind of a hit. So the way to give him a shot to get out of this is to give him something that he could freeze to and cut those other 2 rocks out. Brushers were off it for a long time now. Both have picked it up. He's got room by the guard, but he wants to get by his own stone at the top of the 8-foot. You could just chip off it and sit beside it. Wouldn't be the end of the world either. He's going to rub. Well, it does come into the 4-foot. It's full forward. Looks to be just fully open. Tanaka could freeze to it. There might be a way for Gosgens to blast it out, but he wouldn't get any more than 2. I don't know if you could get to the inside of it enough to hit and roll in. So they're going to play the freeze. The nice thing here for Tanaka is if you can make the freeze, it's not even an easy deuce for Gosgens. Now, there might be a shot. He can see a little piece of that yellow in the top 8 foot. So depending on what your angle is, red onto yellow, he might be able to chip that stone in the 8 foot into the one you're about to deliver. But at the most, that's going to be 3. Has to lock this right on the face. Brusher's working it hard now. They need to get right down to the face of that yellow shot stone. Don't want to leave him any separation to try to get it out. He actually taps it a little bit, and they kind of lost the line. Yeah, there's a good look at it from the overhead. He can't see a ton of it, but he can see what he needs to pick it clean through there for 2. Pardon me, it'll be 3. I don't think he'll touch the back yellow. I don't think it touches the yellow in the 4 foot at all. You can pick it clean. You'll lose the shooter, but it'll be for 3. A lot of discussion here. The only thing I can think of that they might be discussing, can you hit this thick enough that you would just touch the yellow in the 4 foot, the blue would still go out the back, but you wouldn't lose the one in the 4 foot and maybe keep the shooter. But no, with that broom, they're just playing to pick it. I think the discussion had to be, is there any way we could make this for 4? And there might be, but you risk not getting the multiple at all. It certainly looks easier to just pick this. And Wouter's so good at these upweight shots. Final stone of the 5th. Sitting shot rock, but if he can pick this blue clean, he could pick up 3 here. Oh, he's got a piece, but it's really thin right now. He's going to catch it, does drive it by, doesn't lose his own, and the blue does spill far enough. Put 3 points on the board for Wouter Gosgens. He doubles his score here in the 5th end. He's up 6-3 now. Cody Tanaka will have last rock in the 6th. Let's take one more look at that. Boy, just came up enough. Catches it thin. Manages to have his shooter miss the yellow stone, the shot rock in the 4 foot, and that thin piece enough to push that blue all the way through the back. And Gosgens up 6-3 as we go into the 6th end. It'll be.
Hey Ben, what's the Aztec Safety online e-learning website again?
Yeah, that would be aztecsafety.com.
Fire extinguisher and firefighting, we'll send that one to Paul.
Ah, now here's a course I should probably take. Conflict resolution.
Power line safety. Yeah, I thought it might help me with my line calls. Did you know this Aztec website has over 100 safety courses?
Jeez. Aztec Safety online course. Ground disturbance. Could have used that a few seconds ago.
The 2025-2026 Grand Slam of Curling schedule is out, with big events happening all over Canada, like the Masters heading to London in September, the Tour Challenge from Nisku this October, the Canadian Open from Saskatoon in December, and the Players' Championship from Steinbeck coming in January. Early bird, weekend, and full event passes on sale now at gsoctickets.com. Let's rock.
Live curling rocks. And this November, the best in the world are coming to Tahoe. Get your seats now at gsoctickets.com. But hurry, early bird pricing ends soon.
We're back with you from the Prestige Hotel and Resorts Curling Classic in Vernon. Gosgens with a big 3-ender in the 5th. Out to the 6-3 lead. They throw the first one into the top of the 4-foot here. Tanaka team follows up with the corner guard. Sean Joyce with you here live from Vernon. We've got a lot of curling action on the Curling Stadium Network this weekend. Stu sells Toronto on as well, and you've got live coverage from a Tier 2 event in Martinsville this weekend on the men's side. Some women's play as well here at Vernon, as well as at Stu sells in Toronto. Gosgens looking to guard up that stone in the top of the 4-foot now. They won't be terribly upset if they slide into the rings. Trying to get it back to the center line so it's in the no-tick zone. Boy, that's close. I think it's touching. It's not going to matter. Tanaka's playing the corner guard on the other side. Brusher's just cleaning this, now backing away. Taking its time getting off that center line. Should finish up here. Well, they might have liked that a little bit wider, but it does protect the 8-foot. Tough to get behind it from the from the outturn side right now. Yep, Van Dorp being asked to come around from the outturn. Just gets by the front one. And will come sit right on the face of their own shot stone. He has been dialed in on those draws all day. That was the 5th stone of the end. So no more free guard zone. They can make a play on the center guard. He doesn't want to lose his stone on the corner. He's looking to come off the back end of that stone, have the shooter come into the house, and they probably throw this, not full weight hit. I don't think they want to lose the corner guard, but they might like to move it just a little bit farther off center and maybe spin in behind it with the shooter. That one's definitely tight out of his hand. They're going to have to go to get any kind of roll. Plan B now, they're looking to make contact with the ones in the rings. But they just dead stuff it and leave everything lined up and frozen. So now Gosgens looking for the longer guard. Guard the blue guard, and Tanaka's got some work to do to get some room in the middle. Right now it's looking like a steal. Has to be long with this guard, though, and it's looking like it's going to come a little bit tight. Now you got to be careful. You don't want to line this up to jam one onto the yellows. Well, it's there, and it's worth the attempt. You play yellow onto blue onto the two yellows in the rings. Now, you probably don't get them both out, but if you hit it on the exact angle they're in, you probably get the back one out, leave the raised stone in the rings, and the other yellow should pop out into the open a little bit. Still means you need to hit that first one almost exactly on the nose. A little bit of a different release this time. That one might need to curl. Clips the guard, does catch the second stone. Works out okay because he will bring his shooter into the rings, but the yellow catches the other corner guard and it will stay in the rings as well. Gosgens sits 3. And once again, we'll look to guard. Boy, that's a nicely lined up guard. You can't see a sliver of that rock from either side. There's a lot of separation. It is high, but the danger in trying to chase, you're still going to be sitting no better than third. And at some point in time, you need a way to get those yellows out. Going to give it a go, though. They're playing the intern through the port. Try to make contact with those two. You could certainly roll your shooter to a good position, but I'm not sure you're killing either the yellows. So you'll be sitting no better than third. Now, if you could pop the first one out into the open, that'll leave you a chance for a double later. It's got a nice line coming in. Now, will it pop far enough out into the open? I'm not sure it did. You can see a piece of it, but I don't think you can see enough to make the double. And the shooter rolled to a spot where you can't really use it either. So Hoekman will look to come around from the outturn side, sit right on the top of their stone in the 8-foot again. Stone at the back of the 4-foot is shot rock. Brushes were on this early. Wants to get right down to the face of his own. Not going to get that deep, but it will cover it. Well, if you're Tanaka, are you not committed now? You got to try basically the same shot, I think. Come off the blue, though, into the side of the yellow, chip the blue behind cover. He's looking at playing it with a little bit more weight. You could do that, too. I'm seeing close to the same weight. You just need a slight redirect off the blue stone. Have your shooter come into the yellow, push it out in the open. I don't think you even want to kill it. You're going to need it to be able to double that one out of the back 4-foot. Line's close. Needs to finish up just a little bit. Oh, he actually is going to get it off the guard. Not what they were playing. Well, kind of the shot they were playing, but that's not the rock they were trying to rub. Might have left a double on the Blues. The one that was just delivered is dead buried, but you can come off the other one into the side of it, kick it all the way out the side. The question is, can you hit the first one thin enough? You're hitting it slightly thicker than a half, I think. Almost 2/3. And you still need enough weight to kick the second one all the way out. Important to get it out, too, because you're going to leave a double here. Your shooter's going to stay fully, and then he's got a double to the one at the back four. Dangerous to leave those two, but at the same time, Tanaka doesn't really have anything off the Blues. Guess he's got the in turn through that same port to tap up the one in the 8-foot, but you know, that's only giving him a shot for one. Right now, Tanaka doesn't have a clear and obvious way to get that stone out of the back of the 4-foot. If you make the double on the Blues, he can play the double back off the one you're about to deliver. But I certainly understand that they don't want to leave two Blues in the 8-foot with a 3-point lead. Skipper Ox left to come here in the 6th end. This is the first for Wouter Gosgens, looking to make the double on the Blues at the top of the 8-foot, second and third shot. Try to keep the pressure on here after he scored 3 in the last end to take that big lead. Both pressures at the ready, waiting for a call, looking for some curl now. Doesn't make the port and chips the one out of the top of the 8-foot. Boy, that was fortunate that he made contact with anything at all. Now, it does leave a path on the out-turn side to get to that stone at the back of the 4-foot. Still hard to move it. They're looking at the angle of the blue onto the yellows. I don't know if they're talking about playing it now or talking about if we make the freeze, we've got that for maybe 3. I don't think I'd be playing this now. Kopitka definitely likes the freeze. I think it's likely the better call, and that's what they're going to go with. That angle on the blue onto the yellow, you're going to have to roll to the outside a bit. I'm not sure you'd even be second shot. There is that yellow just basically right underneath Michael Kopitka that might still end up as second shot if you made the angle run. Weld this freeze on here first. You've always got the angle run to kill that yellow if you need to. Got to make sure you have a chance to score 2 here at least. Three would be a bonus. If you can lock this freeze on, though, you'll have a chance. Really starting to curl over now. They don't get by the front one. And did not get in for second shot, or pardon me, third shot either. So now Gosgens can make a play on that stone in the 8 foot. Now they do have to be careful. We've seen a number of rocks down this side already. This end run very straight. He clipped the outside guard again on the last one. We saw Jared Kolomaya do it the shot before that. If he does not get to the inside here, he could end up clipping his own out of the back 4 foot. He really doesn't need to roll in. A nose hit here, you sit 3. But you cannot hit anything on the outside. And they make a decision that this is going to need to curl. Has to get to the nose. Has to get to the nose. It'll come up. Oh, just enough to drive it by that stone at the back of the 4 foot. Leaves his shooter in the way. There's no draw path there. And all I see for Cody Tanaka is to try to tap his own blue stone up to the button. And it's, you know, that makes it a tough tap because he was trying it as a straight come around. He rubbed off another guard. It's totally different line for the tap from the shot that he just played. I think it's all he's got, though. It's all I see. It's all he sees. They're going to give it a go. Needs to tap this to pretty much grab a piece of the button to pick up his single. Got to tap it to a pretty much full 8 foot just to cut it down to a steal of 1. Even at that, you'd be down 4. This might be for the game right here. Nothing out of the brushers yet, but you know this moves at the end. Starting to go now. Did they leave it too late? He's got to stay a little bit on the high side to get the angle right. Good angle. Nice weight. He taps it right to the yellow, and Cody Tanaka with a game saver right there makes the tap for the single point. Closes the gap a little. It's 6-4 now after 6 ends of play. Wouter Gösgens with the lead and last rock into end number 7 here in Vernon.
Hey Ben, what's the Aztec Safety online e-learning website again?
Yeah, that would be aztecsafety.com.
That's life. That's what all the people say.
Hey guys, what can I get started for you today?
Bananas away, regular?
And I'll have the rip berry, but can I get vanilla oat milk and I'll add spinach and ginger? And can I substitute the raspberries for strawberries? Also add the chia and hemp seed, and definitely have the power booster and the collagen booster. And can I get that blended twice?
Wow.
For Alicia, custom chaos? One of a kind.
You're one of a kind.
Booster juice, freshly made, your way.
Single point for Cody Tanaka, and the 6th in closes the gap. But Wouter Gosgens, 2-point lead and last rock as we begin play here in the 7th. Tanaka pretty much going to have to play full out for the steal here. Got the guard up with the first one, did not get the center line. The come around made to the top of the forefoot. They've got the second guard in place now. A little bit of a stagger, but they do have the center line on that one. Gosgens is not going to attempt the tick shot again. He's going to play the come around right to the face of his own. Not going to be any surprises here this end, I don't think. There's nobody going to take anybody by sneak attack. It's going to be all out attempt to steal for Tanaka, and Gosgens, as soon as we get rid of the free guards, is going to start trying to clean things up in the middle, make sure he's got a chance to score. If he has to take one here, that won't hurt his feelings. If he ever gets a blank or a chance to score 2, those are great. He just doesn't want to give up the steal and, you know, give some hope to the Tanaka team. Great couple of draws there from lead Tobias Vandenherk. This is the 5th stone of the end, and really all Tanaka can do is, well, they're wondering about, can they tap it? Because you just make the freeze, you still need 2 shots to get shot rock, and by then Gosgens will have gotten rid of all the guards. Nothing out of the brushers. Now looking at, they might need to help this curl. He's got the weight for the tap, but right now does not have the line. He'll get a slight rub and his shooter rolls off. Did leave a pocket in the yellows. It's not the end of the world. That's gives him something to work with, and it keeps Gosgens from making any kind of play off the guards just yet. He's going to make the play off the stone in the forefoot. Try to come in and sit on top of his own again. It does come flop onto the top of zone. There is a pocket in the top 2 Yellowstones, but it's still tough to get rid of the back one. Same type of shot here for the Tanaka team. You need to come down and try to wiggle those yellows around a little bit. You know that if you get anything good here where you're in front of the yellows, they're going to start peeling guards, and you don't want to leave yourself in a spot where you still need 2 more shots to get shot rock, or you won't have anything to hide behind at all. Not sure he's got the weight to move anything this time. He's going to have great line. And just nestles into the pocket, but Gosgens sitting 3. Debating whether or not he even needs to peel the guards, but You know, that's certainly the conventional call here. Peel the guard. You know, Tanaka's still got some work to do in the house to even get to shot rock. This is certainly not wrong, but you have to make it. The problem, the reason they don't want to peel the guard is you're actually making it easier for Tanaka to move those 3 yellows if you move the guard. But at the same time, he still needs to move them twice to get shot rock. You lock this one on nicely, and even if he is able to move it somehow, you're still going to have this stone in a good position. In a good position, possibly great position. Wow, talked about it last end, how well. Yep, Van Dorp has been just absolutely dialed in. It's another great draw from him. I almost think if you're Tanaka, you have to come around from the intern side now. Try to tap that yellow. That's what they're looking at. Tap the yellow that you can see. And I don't think you're trying to kill it. I think you're just trying to jiggle things around. Leave your shooter in a spot where it's tough to get it out. Just kind of looked like they wanted to go there, but they're waiting on the line. This has got to come up. He's going to get the tap. And I'm not sure that angle helped him. It leaves a shot for Gosgens to come off the blue into the top of the 4-foot. Might even be able to nudge that second blue, change the angle on it as well. This has been the straighter side. Wants to get at least a bit to the inside. Boy, line's coming up nice now. He's going to be to the inside of the blue. Catches it, comes across, nudges off the blue, and I think still just sitting the 3, but what does Tanaka do now? He can't get to the inside edge of that yellow. He is in some trouble here for sure. Boy, I'll tell you what, all I'm seeing really, honestly, is the blue guard in, and I don't know if you can see enough of it. Could you ever just off the nose on the blue guard that's closest to the rings? And you'd have to finish to do that. Drive it onto the yellow. Yellow onto blue. It should jiggle all the yellows behind it. That blue is never leaving the rings. There's a pocket there. You need to move some yellows around on this shot, or you've got no way to get into the button area. Well, that might be what they're looking at. No, he's looking at the bullet, trying to clip the yellow. See if he can jiggle some yellows around that way. He is going to move his own blue as well. Just a question of how far. Pops it out. Popped his blue to a good spot. It's usable on the other side now. He can see half of it, enough to drive it onto a yellow. The problem with that is he still will not be shot rock. In fact, it would be 2 for Gosgens at that point. Gosgens thinking about freezing onto the corner of his own Yellowstone at the top of the 8-foot just to take away that blue-yellow. Tanaka still needs 2 shots just to get shot rock. He cannot get shot rock on his next throw. Essentially just a guard here, but he does want to bring it in nice and tight. Well, the problem for Tanaka now with moving that blue across like that is that the blue guard run into the rings doesn't do anything but kill the blue one now. Wondering, can he see enough of that yellow to play the chip double onto the one at the back, and then he's still going to have to find a way to drive blue onto yellow at the front to get shot rock. Again, there's no way that I can see that he can get shot rock off this throw, but he has to be able to get shot rock on his last one. And the blue onto the yellow right now would still leave him sitting third shot. There's 3 yellows that he's got to find a way to kill with 2 stones if that rock's ever going to be shot rock. Okay, freezing the top one doesn't help. Freezing the back one's interesting if you could get there. It looks really tough, though. You can only see a third of it by the blue stone at the top of the 4-foot. That might be his best bet. You come around, try to freeze to the yellow at the back of the button, and you can leave yourself a bit of a gap, because what you're going to play with your last one is to try to slash it onto the yellow at the back button and then have it slice across underneath everything else. So a few inches in between them is good. If you're not playing that, I think you have to try to find a way to move 2 yellows here, and that's not going to be easy. So looking to try to slice the blue across. This has got to be an attempt to almost miss the yellow at the top of the 8-foot, I think, and sliver the blue at the top of the 4-foot into the one at the top of the button. You're still going to have to make some kind of double with the last one to be shot rock. And if you don't move the one off the top of the button with this stone, I don't see how you have a shot to score at all. Catches it, but drives it by everything in the rings. And if Wouter Gosgens doesn't throw, I think he's still scoring at least one this end. That's if Tanaka can make a nice slash double. They are a little concerned that he can get to that back one. I'm not positive that he can, but if you could get to it, freeze to it. It doesn't look like it's there. If you could ever get shot rock off it, though, it would be tough to remove. Could conceivably on this come right into that button area himself, but more important to take the line away. Be the one where you throw it as a guard essentially, and if the line's perfect and the sweepers have a chance to get it there, you take it in, but just take away the freeze path is all he's looking to do here. Sitting 3 already. Working hard to hold the line out there. Still by the blue one, doesn't have the weight to get to the rings, so they'll just back away from that, let it come up to rest as a guard, takes away that draw path. There is a double there. I don't think that they're looking at, can you hit the first one thin, catch the back end of the second one, and still catch the third one? I don't think you can. You pick one double or the other. I don't think you're ever getting 3. You drive it into the side of the yellow, and then you're asking it to still keep coming towards the left as we look at the overhead. And after it catches the one on the center line, it's going to come straight back. It's not going to continue to go left. You can make 2 go away here, and that would at least make the deuce difficult. Holding to 1, you're still in the game. If it's more than 1, this might be handshakes. Big shot here for Cody Tanaka. Needs at least the double. Thinks he might have a shot at all 3 of them. Got the big weight. He's going to give it a go. He's got 1, but misses the one on the button. Does catch the double. So eliminates 2 of them. Gosgens is now sitting just the 1 on the button and will need half of the 4-foot, half a rock in the 4-foot to pick up his deuce here, and that could extend the point or the lead to 4 points, and that might be enough. Nothing out of the brushers. He's got a lot of line. Looks like it might have a lot of weight as well. Needed a piece of the 4-foot. And this is going to sail right through. So it will be just the single point. Cody Tanaka dodges a bit of a bullet still. Down by 3. Coming home, he will have last rock against Wouter Gosgens. And that'll all be here for you right on the Curling Stadium Network right after this.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.
The rock faces around Lake Tahoe are legendary. But this fall, new ones will emerge in the Tahoe Basin. Helmet, Moe, Gushu, and more. November 4th through 9th, the Grand Slam of Curling's first ever event in the U.S. is coming to Lake Tahoe, where the greatest rock stars on earth unite for 6 days of incredible curling, celebrity appearances, and après curl parties you won't want to miss. Get your tickets at thegrandslamofcurling.com. Let's rock!
Three-point lead for Wouter Gosgens as we play in the 8th here. Strategy pretty cut and dry for both teams here. Tanaka going to look to throw the double corners. One would think anyway. Here's the first one. First stone of the end into the top of the forefoot. You'll likely see Gosgens bring in the second one in. I don't think you'll worry about guarding that now. Just put these rocks in the middle, knowing that at some point in the end, Tanaka's going to have to deal with them while he deals with the rocks in the middle. You're dealing with the corner guards and hoping that when you're ready to make a play in the middle, everything is grouped. One double could end the game. Now, I do expect him to throw the second guard. You don't necessarily have to do it here. 5 rock free guard zone. So when you got last rock, you know the other team can't hit a guard yet. But if you make any kind of play in the rings and they're able to get it out, well, then you're playing with fire a little bit. I still thought he might tap these. Not wrong to play the second corner right now and then react to whatever happens after this. Gosgens may throw a center guard on the next one. Boy, it looks like he's just going to throw it through. I'm not in love with this call. There's already a double available in the middle, so Tanaka doesn't really have to do anything with those stones now. He can play that later. This is his chance to come around the corner. Moving a little early on him. Got to get by the corner. This is really moving hard. I don't know if he's got the weight either. Just chip off the guard. Important to get some separation here. They don't want to leave any easy double peels, but Does come up short. 3 guards now to work with. There are 2 options for the double if you play the higher one. You could come into either one of them. The more natural looks like come across into the one just at the top of the National Financial red swoosh. Looking to move some blue. Gets one. Catches the second one. Off the back end a little bit, but will leave the shooter out there and actually gets that little wee tiny spin at the end and now overlaps those guards. A lot of the discussion going on right now comes from the fact that they know that that's a fairly routine double peel now with them overlapped like that. So if you're expecting both guards to be gone, you got to find a way to make this one really good. You're still going to have a double on the yellows later on, but you need to be sitting 2 in the ring somewhere when you get to throw that last one. So you saw where they were looking to end up here. It's not just a question of getting around the 2 guards. They want this to keep curling it all the way to the back of the 8, back 12 if necessary, and bury behind the 2 in the rings. These are always so tough for throwers and sweepers alike because you're just not geared to throw a draw to the back of the house. It's just not something you do as a rule. You're trying to avoid it most of the time. So when you have to throw that extra 6 feet of weight, it's tough to get it there. Not going to get by. He came up well short. And that little spin at the end, did he leave it where he could get all 3 of them? There is no way I'm throwing anything other than a hit here. And it's hard to tell without the overhead. It's got to be close to being able to get all 3 of them and lose the shooter. You're going to hit about 3/4 on the center line side with some weight. You see him indicating with the out turn they're playing this. They don't want to leave the shooter there. If it curls too much, you hit it thin, you're still probably getting 2, the yellow and the tighter blue one. You just leave the 1 center guard. Boy, that might have been back a little, though. That might have been back a lot. It's still backing away. He does get 2, actually manages to pick it across the top of the blue corner guard. Leaves 2 corners on that side, though. Tanaka still thinking about coming around the 2 yellows in the rings. I don't mind this call. You come around the 2 yellows in the rings, it keeps Gosgens, or possibly keeps Gosgens, away from any attempt at peeling the corners. Already, I don't think there's any chance he plays the double peel because you're having a blue coming back towards yellows. Well, this is plan B now. This is hanging. They're going to try to tap their own straight back. They got the straight back part. And it does stay. Nice lean behind the corner. That ends up as a great shot. Gosgens can make a peel on the blue corner guard, but even then, that one at the back is still going to be partially behind cover. Makes the peel, rolls all the way across and out of play. So Tanaka, 3 rocks left. The stone at the back of the 8-foot looks to be about a third exposed. So your choices are to either try to come around the 2 in the middle again, which is very tough, or play what is really a more routine draw, just come around the corner guard. The problem with coming around the corner guard, and that's what they're going to play, nothing wrong with this, is Gosgens is just going to peel the corner guard, and there'll be a double left available to end the game. Boy, you got to get this under cover, or he might be able to play the double on this shot. Starting to move now, moving big now. They got to get across the face of their own. Even if they nudge it, is fine. Nudges it back a bit. It's a pretty good shot. Gosgens, for some reason, not looking at peeling the corner guard. This is the only way you get in trouble. You peel the corner guard. There's a double back there, so really Tanaka has to cover it because he can't leave you a double. The game's over. And then you sit 3 with your last one, and he's got to find a way to make a triple for the tie. Now, you make this shot, you're still in good shape. As long as you make whatever your call here, you're in pretty good shape. But boy, if this over curls, you've opened the door for Tanaka, perhaps. Still got a lot of room. Curling now. He's got a nice one. Puts it right on the corner of that blue stone. Tanaka has to find a way to do something with that on this stone. If he doesn't do anything with it on this stone, I don't know how he gets it out by the 2 blues on the next one. He's got to tap it somehow or another. And still have a shot on the last one. Looking at trying the triple now, that's an option. So nose hit almost on the one at the top of the 12-foot. Have it clip the yellow and the 4-foot, and hoping it comes straight into the side of the one that was just thrown. Kicks it over the top of the blue. It's not bad. Tanaka looking at also played just the hit and roll off that stone, and then hope he still got the flat double with his last one. Talking about, I think, freezing onto the corner of the shot stone so that they're at an angle where they can blast everything and it should go into the side of yellow. That's going to be tough. I don't know that he can get across the face of that shot stone enough. They're going to play the hit on the top one. So you're playing the hit on the top one. You're not trying to get any kind of double. Just drive it through the port, roll over about 2 feet. You want a clear path to the shot stone, and then for Gosgens, if he hits the one that you're about to deliver, he's got to roll in or he's not shot rock. There would be a very flat double from the stone in the corner of the button to that stone at the edge of the 8. You got to get to the back side of the stone at the edge of the 8, kick it over the top of the blues. So first things first, you got to open up a path to make that double. Then you still need Wouter Gosgens to leave it for you. Got the hit. Is he going to roll far enough? He does. Oh, but he puts it onto his own stone at the back. Now, will it roll out? And it doesn't. And that's huge, because now if Gosgens makes the one at the top go, you need to find a way to kill all 3 yellows for the tie. 4 if he holds his shooter. Boy, I don't think anybody looked at that. Even I didn't think they would be that close to the blue stone. Mind you, he threw that a little quieter than I thought he was planning to. You had to roll off the face of the blue, or the face of the yellow in the 4-foot. You needed a direct path available at that stone. For Gosgens, just needs to make this stone go away, really, not even critical to hold his shooter. If the blue one goes away, that double will still only be for 2. He's got to find a way to get rid of the other 3 yellow stones. If you ever hold your shooter here, somehow or another, Tanaka's going to need to make a quad. And they just don't think it's there, so they will shake hands. Wouter Gosgens picks up the win here. The Prestige Hotels and Resorts Curling Classic. Just taking a peek at the standings. That moves Tanaka to a record of 1-1. That was the first game for Gosgens. He moves to 1-0 in Pool B. Action continuing here. He's going to throw it just for fun, just to see whether the double was there. So we'll stick around and watch that too. You may as well, if you're playing that, kick the one out of the front, because, yeah, it's in the way. They've already shook hands. They're not playing the shot for the win. He just wants to know if the double would have been there had it come down to the last rock. You don't see this done a lot in the Bonspiel. Then even if it is there, he's got to throw it really good to make it. Nice chance to get to practice in on a shot that you might have to make for a lot of extra points somewhere later in the Bonspiel. Oh, he didn't throw that very good. Tried to throw it with a ton of rotation too, get the action off the shooter, but if you have to pinball it that many times with the throw, with the brush, I don't know if it was there. Regardless, Gosgens moves on with the win. Tanaka takes the loss. Both teams will be in action later on, trying to move into the playoffs on Sunday. All of the action for you here, continuing on, not just from Vernon, but from the Toronto Stu Cells Toronto Classic as well. All here on the Curling Stadium Network. On behalf of myself, Sean Joyce, my production facilitator, Rory McCusker, we want to thank you for joining us this afternoon, and we will see you again all weekend long here on the Curling Stadium Network.
Live curling rocks. And this November, the best in the world are coming to Tahoe. Get your seats now at gsoctickets.com. But hurry, early bird pricing ends soon.